Did you page Dr. Culver?
He's not in the hospital. I called Dr. Fushida.
Mrs. Anders, we're going to elevate your leg to ease the swelling.
So what do we have?
Mrs. Anders was admitted last night with acute anterior wall MI. Her condition was stabilized. A cardiac catheter was done. Overnight, she developed severe edema in her right thigh, low BP, unstable crit. There's strong evidence of excessive bleeding at the arterial puncture site.
Looks like we're going to have to evacuate it. Who ran the catheter anyway? Anna
Mrs. Anders was the patient Dr. Culver and I saw last night.
Well, where the hell was Culver?
No one's seen him all day.
McGrath, book an OR stat. We'll be all right, Mrs. Anders. We'll get you prepped real quick. Let's hurry up there. Come on. Come on.
Where are they going?
OR to evacuate a hematoma.
So even a genius like Culver has patients who develop complications, huh? Thanks.
Tony, there's something weird about that guy. I was in there with him. He was a basket case. He was jumpy and perspiring. If he'd been anybody else, I'd have prescribed tranquilizers for the guy.
Well, maybe he's doing his own prescribing.
Maybe what?
Forget. Just sounded like Wallaby syndrome is all.
Wallaby syndrome. Tony, you're always doing this. You're always making up these terms.
Hey, come on. You never heard of Dr. Jim Wallaby, the junkie doctor of Baltimore Municipal Major Speed Freak? Everyone on the East Coast knows about him.
Metzger, come on. If you're saying that's what's going on with Dr. Culver, you're nuts. He's known everywhere. He's a star.
So was Wallaby.
Right. So how do you get away with it if everybody knew?
It's called hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Well, whatever it's called, I don't like it.
Well, that speaks well for you.
It's clear.
It is now, but this kind of complication should never have happened. Mrs. Anders was stable, the procedure routine.
I agree, gentlemen. I just heard. You're right, Daniel. Mrs. Anders should have never developed the hematoma. I blame the nurse for this. I gave her explicit instructions to maintain pressure on the femoral artery for a full 10 minutes. Clearly, she didn't do what I asked.
It wasn't her job.
Daniel, the hard part is threading the catheter. Anyone can stand there for 10 minutes and close off the femoral artery. Frankly, I was extremely tired, and I trusted the nurse to carry out one simple order. It was a serious mistake, and I am sorry. The patient is overweight, Daniel, and even when a doctor's applying pressure, it's hard to tell if it's enough or whether the bleeding is going into the tissue.
Oh, good, Eugene. I've been looking all over for you. We've got to get going.
We're finished in here for now.
Good. See you later.
What I said is true, Daniel. Hey, give the guy a break. He was tired. He apologized. Something about him is bugging you. What is it?
I'm not sure.
We'll probably be with him for about an hour.
Whatever you need. Margaret, I'll meet you in your office.
All right. Hurry.
Henry, my man. Hey, bro. So, how's George doing?
Dr. Klein says he has to have some kind of operation.
Yeah, a laparotomy. It's to see if he has something called Hodgkin's disease. And if he does, it tells us how far it's progressed.
Doesn't sound too good.
Well, a lot of times it's been treated successfully.
I hope so. You got a new baby.
Well, we'll do the best we can. So, what's in there? Some good news for a change?
Actually, yeah. A tour bus on the Hana Highway in Maui got hit, but nobody got hurt. 27 kids. They all okay.
29, kid.
I meant 29.
Yeah.
Lucky for them, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Henry, this was for you. Again.
Another application in the medical tech program, yeah?
Yeah. Now, you didn't turn it in the last time I gave it to you. What happened? They got new classes forming. I want you to take them, okay? Henry, come on, you got too much on the ball to be an orderly the rest of your life.
I'll think about it.
No, don't think about it. Just do it, okay?
What if I like being an orderly?
Well, then you'll be the first person I've ever heard of that did. Now, I don't mean to be pushy here. Well, you're right, actually, I do. Fill out the form and hand it in, okay? Dr. Kulani, hi. I'm trying to get young Henry here to apply to the med tech program. Would you sponsor him with me?
Absolutely.
You see? It's both of us, okay? I want you to go for it.
There you are.
Yeah, and don't I wish I was someplace where the food is better.
I'm not sure I can tell the difference anymore. Kaylin, were you in the room for the procedure on Mrs. Anders?
Most of it.
Did you notice any procedural mistakes?
No, from what I saw, it all seemed pretty routine.
What about the nurse? How did she perform?
Sandra Khalili? She seemed to be on top of everything. Dr. Culver criticized her for a couple of points, but I didn't see her do anything wrong. Dr. Kulani, have you ever heard of Wallaby syndrome?
Instinct has an important place in diagnosis, but don't ever make one without a factual basis. You can make some pretty serious mistakes that way. Sandra?
Hi, Dr. Kalani.
Hi. We had a complication with the MI patient from last night. She developed extensive internal bleeding in her thigh. Was there any difficulty getting the catheter in place?
Dr. Culver said the patient's obesity made it more difficult to insert the catheter, but that was all.
Did Dr. Culver leave the room at any time during the procedure?
No.
At any time before Mrs. Anders was removed from the cath lab?
No.
Are you sure he didn't give you any orders as to the closing procedure?
Dr. Culver did the closing procedure himself.
And you were there the entire time?
After Dr. Culver removed the catheter, he asked me to get the latest blood work from the lab. Dr. Kulani, I followed his orders. All of them. Exactly.
Thank you, Sandra.
Hi there. What's going on? I'm on break. I figured I'd come in looking on George, huh? It's nice. Really? What's all this? It's an ancient Hawaiian healing altar. This is Kane, the god of healing. He wear everything physical and spiritual. You think it works? I don't know. George does. I figure anything to make him feel better is worth trying, huh? Old and new. out the application?
Oh, I won't pass on it this time.
Why?
I appreciate what you're trying to do, Dr. Metzger, but it's personal.
Hey, come on, Henry, don't be a jerk.
So I don't jump when you say so and I get insulted. That it?
Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
Just butt out, okay? Look, what I do in my life is my business. And I intend to keep it that way.
What happened, Doc?
I don't know, George. I don't know.
Medical staff office, please. Yeah, this is Dr. Kulani. I'd like you to get me the AMA history file on Eugene Culver. And keep this request confidential, please. Thanks.
Got your message. What's up?
A lot. I just got this over the modem from a friend of mine who's worked with Culver in Philadelphia.
Loves to the brass, prima donna in the OR. Rumor was he was wired to the teeth. That's rumors, Danny boy, not facts. Fact is, he left Philly with a clean slate.
Yeah, but he left Philly, and Hartford, and Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, can you blame him?
Okay. Forget what my friend said. He doesn't want to be quoted anyway. Culver's AMA file must be in the staff office. I can't imagine him not requesting it before offering him a job here. I want to take a look at it.
Ooh, now, if there was anything in it, Margaret wouldn't have hired him.
Yeah, I know, but I want to see it anyhow. You don't have to come if you don't want to.
Okay.
Okay. 12 complaints at 3 different hospitals over 10 years, and he resigned twice. I saw him popping pills at a drinking fountain. He made sure Margaret didn't see him, and he didn't see me.
Daniel, all this AMA file says is the complaints were made.
Hello, Dr. Fushida.
No actions were taken, and no sanctions were given. So what do you got? Zero. Zip. And your friend in Philly refused to be quoted. So what does that tell you? You got absolutely nothing.
You're wrong, Ken. It all fits. The mood swings, the sweats, the erratic behavior. A routine procedure botched. He's speeding, Ken.
Daniel, you're talking about destroying a man's reputation, a man's life.
So you're telling me to do nothing?
I'm telling you that you're standing on a cliff, and you better look before you leap. Because from what I can see, you got no parachute, no safety net. And it's a long way down, pal. Of course, I had reservations about being out here so far away from the mainstream, but I really feel at home now.
Good. I'm glad. A lot of people I want you to meet. I was thinking about maybe having a little cocktail party for you.
I bought a necklace. Egyptian lapis, it would look perfect on you.
Morning.
Morning, Daniel.
Morning.
Maggie, you got time for lunch? I'd like to talk to you.
Margaret's having lunch with me.
Oh, can it wait till Monday? I've got some committee reports to get out this afternoon with everything else. Friday's brutal.
No, but it can't wait.
Well, okay. Have Julie call my secretary and we'll match schedules. I gotta run. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Terrific woman.
Yeah, she sure is. And I'd hate to see her get hurt.
Well, who are you, a jealous suitor?
Come on, Gene. Isn't it time to deal with what's going on with
All right,
you?
Daniel, why don't you just spit it out before you choke on it?
Gene, you can't sit still for 5 minutes. You can't hold a conversation.
You know who you're talking to?
It's because of who you are that I'm saying all this.
Oh, I suppose that's why you went through my personal files, too. Yes, I know all about you and Dr. Fushida snooping around the medical staff office.
And you may as well know that I've talked to several doctors who work with you.
Talk to, or gossiped with. Now, watch yourself, Doctor, because you're right on the edge of a slander suit.
Gene, you've got a drug problem.
Now, I'm sick of this! Now, my work speaks for itself.
It sure as hell does. In the Anders case, it speaks loud and clear. For your own good, get some help.
Why don't you just keep your nose out of my business? For your own good.
Tony, how's it going?
It goes like it goes.
Short and to the point. What's it mean?
You want to know the biggest tragedy in my mother's life?
Not particularly, but I'm sure you're going to tell me anyway.
She came home from Saks, the department store in New York City.
I worked at New York Hospital. I know where Saks is. I actually have a charge card there.
The woman who sold girdles to her had died. Now, my mother was the only woman in the 60s who still wore a girdle. This woman had been selling girdles to her for 20 years. I guess she just expected this woman to go on forever.
That's the trouble with expectations. You're either disappointed or if they come true, there's this lingering doubt that somehow you set your goals too low.
Well, expectations are overrated.
What happened?
Well, you know, I'm sponsoring Henry Matrano for this med tech program.
Yeah, Dr. Kalani told me. I think it's a great idea.
Well, so did I, until he dumped on me for it. I asked him if he'd signed his application. He just blew me away. Told me to keep out of his business.
Tony, lighten up.
Hey, life is grim.
Oh, give me a break. At least you tried. I mean, that's a lot more than most people do. Come on, I'll race you.
Mrs. Anders, how are you feeling?
Still not so good.
Mrs. Anders suffered a moderate heart attack 2 nights ago. Dr. Brody, Dr. McGrath, will you bring us up to date?
Patient complained of chest pains radiating to the left arm. Lab and EKG irregularities indicative of anterior wall MI.
Dr. Culver performed a cardiac catheterization. After he removed the catheter, he gave instruction to the nurse, Sandra Khalili, as to the closing procedure.
Nurse Khalili applied pressure to the femoral artery. In spite of this, there was bleeding from the puncture site in the femoral artery into the surrounding tissue.
Wait a minute. That's not right.
What isn't right?
Well, the doctor worked on me, not the nurse.
Mrs. Anders, how could you know who was with you at the end of the procedure? You must have been pretty groggy.
I was floating, but I wasn't out of it.
Are you sure Dr. Culver stayed with you until the nurse came and took you back to your room?
Of course, I'm sure. There were 2 nurses, a woman and a man. The doctor sent the Hawaiian nurse out of the room to go get something, and the man stayed, but he never came near me.
Jackie Moran.
Right, he's the cardiac doctor.
What's wrong now?
Oh, nothing. We just want to make sure that what's on your chart corresponds with what actually happened the other night.
How about the other night? The doctor, the specialist you brought in, I really don't want to see him again.
We'll get you a new cardiologist. See if Dr. Anna Palau is available. I'll be back to check on you later.
Okay, Doc.
Caitlin, I want you to come with me. Tony, check on Mr. Kapili.
Got it.
Tori, I want you to pay Sandra Khalili and Jackie Moran.
I would if I could, but I can't.
Why not?
Jackie Moran's off today, and Sandra Khalili, she got put on leave. Word came down today.